Yes, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. It's match day and it's match day live. But let's try and predict the starting 11 ahead of the game against Liverpool, shall we? So, welcome. Happy birthday to me. Thank you for saying it. My birthday today, and hopefully West Ham can make it a day to remember with a result against Liverpool at Anfield. Good luck to them. As we always try and do a couple of hours before, we try and predict the starting 11. Premier League, I think you probably, a few play. I think it's sort of out of the window really now. It's a few places I think we know who will play. We know people who won't play, I think, as well. I mean, obviously, last night in the Premier League International Cup, Luis Guilherme played, so I imagine he won't be featuring. Likes of Ollie Scholes, Kalen Casey, they were all featured heavily as well. So, again, can't see them making the trip to Anfield. Even for the starting line, maybe on the bench, you never know, but it's a bit of a trek, to be honest, from Dagenham all the way to Liverpool in time for the game. But I think, coming out of the Julian Lopetegui press conference on Tuesday, he spoke specific about Fulkrug. He's training again. So, the West Ham website was saying, he's in contention, same as Fabianski and Todibo as well, and Soler. So I think those type of the players you're going to see in. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he sets his stall up for this game. Because one of the main criticisms, particularly under the previous regime, was almost throwing away these types of games. We're playing Liverpool at Anfield in the Cup. We haven't got Europe as a distraction. So I would think we'd go reasonably strong. Maybe one or two players on the bench. You look back at the side we put out against Bournemouth. Obviously, we had the likes of JWP and people like that in the squad as well. But guys like Kudus was on the bench and Antonio on the bench and things like that. And I think you'll see a few of them. I think, but we'll go through it. No spoilers alerts. But anyway, and again, this is a mixture of what I would like and what I think is going to happen. Because it's never exactly how you want it. I don't think we've predicted one bang on yet. Maybe one. Anyway, let's crack on. So, starting with the goalkeeper, Fabianski, is pretty much. I mean, he's guaranteed, unless he gets injured in the warm up, to be playing tonight. Julien says it so. It will be his 202nd. Is it his 202nd appearance at West Ham? I think so. Yeah, his 202nd appearance at West Ham. Fair play. His 201st was the what's name? Was the Man United? Was the Bournemouth game, wasn't it? Yeah. Fair play to him. So he's in goal now. I think right back. I think Soufal plays, and the reason being is I think they might put Wan-Bissaka on the left hand side. Maybe give Emerson the night off. Wan-Bissaka's 3 or 4 years. I think 4 years younger than him, so could easily play a 2-game week. I don't think we'll risk seeing Cresswell against the likes of Diaz, for example, and Salah. It does worry me a little bit with Soufal there, but he might go with Wan-Bissaka and Emerson. But I think he'll give. He's again in the press conference. He was saying about giving minutes to people who are, who need minutes. We still need a strong side, but we'll be giving minutes to people who need them. And I think Soufal probably needs it. Where's my number? Oh, I missed the numbers out. Don't worry. Centre-back partnerships. I think it's got to be Max Kilman, and I think it's Todibo. I think this is when we see him. Obviously, we know there's been a reluctance to start him, whether it's a strength issue, and as X said on his podcast about he has an issue with his legs or something like that. So I think he plays tonight. Again, what was coming out of the press conference was that type of feeling. I don't think he'll. I think and again, it's Todibo's shirt to lose now. Has a good game against Liverpool and keeps fit and stays fit, then that's the partnership going forward. End of. Sorry, Mav, but end of. And then, as I said, I think Wan-Bissaka comes in and plays left back. I think Wan-Bissaka will be either side. If he's on the right hand side, then you'd imagine Emerson would come on. I wouldn't think they'd risk Cresswell in the slightest. There is the option potentially of going to a back three, but again, it's not something that he's been experimenting with. And from a back three, like set up as a back three, not Alvarez dropping into the back three, because that's what he does naturally anyway. And I think he will continue to do that. I think Alvarez plays and will be that holding man. Whether they go with a second pivot, I don't. I think being the cup competition, it's almost like a free hit. I think you're playing Anfield at Liverpool in the Corrupt Cup, and as Anton calls it, and I think you've almost got a free hit, to be fair. So play like you're playing at home, you know. We've got Brentford at the weekend anyway, so we're probably double pivoting for the Brentford game. It does seem that the away games we play, we set up more defensive than the home games. But I think that tonight's a real opportunity to put a good performance in. If we lose, we lose. But if we lose and have put in a good performance, that will appease a proportion of the fan base. I think they can see something, they can see a performance. As I said, we're pretty much on par with the corresponding fixtures from last year in terms of the Premier League fixtures. I think we're actually better off 4 goals in goal difference. But I think for me, you still, we need that performance. We need something, particularly after the Chelsea game. Now, alongside him, I think Soler comes in. I think this is Soler's debut. There may be a school of thought which brings in Souček there. I'm sorry, but brings in Souček in that role and then puts Soler in a more advanced position. I'd prefer Soler a little bit more advanced, but what I think almost is it's almost going to be like a 4-1-4-1. That's the way I see it. Although he's down there, I imagine Alvarez would sit in front of the front two, and Soler along with the number 10 would act as sort of did like an inverted triangle. On the left, Captain Bowen. I think there could be possibility of putting Kudus there. Maybe I think Kudus is given the night off. I think for me, I put him on the bench. He came off the bench for the Bournemouth game in the last round. Obviously, Luis Guilherme is played for the the under-21s, the PL2. Played quite well actually, to be honest. So he won't feature from the start at least. Paqueta, I think we need Paqueta there. I think we need Paqueta and Soler together to see and start working those passages of play. That's what I want to see, some passages of play. And Soler, Paqueta, Somerville, I think he gets another game and another chance to impress. I think he does. I think he comes in. I think he played well against Chelsea. Probably our most him and Kudus are the two most dangerous men on the pitch for West Ham. And up front, I think it's time to unleash the Folk. Now, according to the press conference, he's been training on the website. They've been alluding to the fact that he's in contention with and Fabianski. Fabianski's not in contention. Fabianski starts end of. But I think Nicholas Füllkrug, it's his. It's his start. We've got Antonio on the bench. We've got Kudus on the bench. Again, there's another school of thought which might suggest that Andy Irvine's given a run out today. He's given the starting berth, so to speak, which could happen. You could potentially play Andy in the 10 role. You could play him in the 8 and put Soler on the 10. You might not play Alvarez and just put Rodriguez on his own in that CDM role. I would prefer not to be honest. I think you need Alvarez there. And I think he had a poor game against Chelsea, so he needs a good game tonight. Whether that's enough to get through, I don't know. Again, it depends what side Liverpool put out. I imagine Liverpool will put out a very different side than the side that played at the weekend. A lot of the kids as well, with the likes of Salah, people like that on the bench. So it's going to be an interesting game. Being my birthday, I've had a word So they're going to put in performance because it's my birthday. But what do you think? It could be. Wan-Bissaka could be right back. They could put Emerson. They could go almost full force, pretty much. But I just can't see it happening. They might put Paqueta into the 8 role and put Kudus in, but I think Soler will get some minutes. They might put Paqueta on the bench and put Kudus in at the 10 role. They might put Danny Ings in. He gets his old club. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know. We have the watch along later on. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. Come on, your irons.